Bitcoin short squeeze. In today's live stream, we will be talking about a possibility of a Bitcoin short squeeze and what we could be expecting moving forward in today's market in the next coming days, right? For me, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be Monday. For many of you, today is Monday, so depending on the time you're watching this, but today is going to be a market to look ahead for this coming up week, to go ahead and see where things are going moving forward, right? We're going to go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. We're going to go ahead and talk about the overall market and what we could be expecting in the next coming days, right? So appreciate all of you tuning in today. We're going to go ahead and get started with some technical analysis with Bitcoin. But in the meantime, before I do go ahead and do that, I do want to go ahead and share this content with my community. So let me go ahead and make sure we are officially live. Looks like we are officially live, so that's a good sign. Let me go ahead and refresh my page, and we're going to go ahead and see if we are officially good to go. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, yeah, it looks like we are officially set to go. Let me go ahead and start shilling this in my community. And in the meantime, that gives us hopefully some people to go ahead and come in. We are live. We got that going out of the way. Let's head over to Twitter real quick. We are awesome. So we got that going out. Alrighty, Syntax, how's it going, man? Long time no see. Hope you're having a good one. Let me go ahead and minimize myself, and let me go ahead and move myself out the way. I did notice that it's kind of a distraction when I go ahead and put myself a little too low on the computer, so I'm still trying to figure out where's a good spot. Maybe the left side might be a good area. I don't know. Let me know what all of you think. I think like the left side might be like an area where we won't get bothered. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't know why, but I just have a tendency to go ahead and I feel like on the right side everything looks better, but we'll go ahead and try it out like that today. Hope you're having a good one today, Syntax. How's your day going so far? So let's go ahead and get started with some technical analysis on Bitcoin. But before we do go ahead and get started, let's go ahead and take a look at the fear and greed chart and see what we're looking at today. So looking at the fear and greed chart, we are at 72 with a level of greed. We were, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we were at extreme levels of greed, and we have come down slightly from those levels right now. Looking at crypto bubbles, we do see a lot of these altcoins also taking a nice little pump to the upside, kind of 50-50, but we do see some nice little pumps coming in. And as well for Bitcoin, in my opinion, I think it's looking pretty bullish, right? I did mention that on the 4-hourly, it does look like it is doing a cup and handle pattern ready for a breakout. And I've also just noticed right now, this could also be a possibility in an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So let me know what all of you think. Do you think Bitcoin's going to go ahead and have a short squeeze? A lot of people are calling for Bitcoin at $10,000. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know what's up with people in these crazy predictions, but I think, in my opinion, Bitcoin's looking more bullish. I don't want to say more bullish than ever, but it's looking pretty bullish. You know, we haven't really done anything too crazy, in my opinion. We are seeing right now Bitcoin currently still holding these areas of support. Obviously, if we do go ahead and continue to go ahead and lose this area of support, it is going to be looking a little bit bearish, but it's not the end, right? We could still go ahead and see a reversal with a continuation to the upside, right? So we're going to go ahead and see, but also it does look like an inverse head cup and handle pattern, which is usually a bearish pattern as well, right? So I think that it does look kind of bearish, I guess, on the daily, but in my opinion, I think I'm still going to be pushing for the short squeeze until we get some clear information that Bitcoin is completely bearish. In my opinion, I think Bitcoin will be completely bearish once we start losing this area supported around the $50,000 area. And to be clear, I would say anything under $50,000, like Bitcoin closing below the zone right here, will definitely indicate some sort of bearish momentum, in my opinion, right? So in my opinion, as I mentioned, Bitcoin's looking still neutral, nothing too crazy. I'm pushing more towards the bullish narrative, but we're going to go and see what goes on in the next coming hours, depending on the time you're watching this. For me, today is Sunday. It's still Sunday, and it will be Monday in the next coming hour. So we're going to go and see where things go moving forward with that. Looking at the DXY, we are seeing right now the DXY on the daily still actually kind of pumping, so that's actually quite interesting. We're going to go and see how the day ends, if it's a full-on red or it's a full-on reversal finally coming up, but we are still holding up at this nice area of support for the DXY, right? And obviously, you know, the stock market's not open yet, so we can't go ahead and check what's that doing right now at the current moment, but we will be seeing later on today as soon as the market opens. In the stock market, we're going to go ahead and get a better understanding of where things are moving forward. All right, so let's go ahead and feel free to go ahead and comment down below any meme tokens that you have in mind. Today is Sunday, so we're going to go ahead and see what kind of predictions we could go ahead and see for the coming week. So let's go ahead and take a look at Solana. Solana I've been extremely bearish on. You know how I feel about Solana. Let's see if Solana has changed at all whatsoever. So it's not looking too bad. It's also doing something very similar to what Bitcoin is doing, but for Solana, it's looking actually quite more bearish in my opinion. We are looking at two, you know, possible scenarios. This probably being a head and shoulders pattern right here, which is a very, very bearish pattern in my opinion. And this thing happens over and over again, where we do see head and shoulders being one of the most powerful bearish scenarios, right? Or the second thing that I'm looking at is that this probably is already a head and shoulders pattern right here. As you see, you have the shoulder, you have the head, and you have the other shoulder, and typically then we have one more time of a fake out trying to retest that area of resistance with then a sudden drop, right? So then we're either going to see a consolidation at the zone, or we're going to go ahead and see a drop down to this zone before we have a continuation to the upside, right? So Solana, in my opinion, right now, I've been quite bearish with Solana. Right now, I'm going to say it's looking a little bit in between. Neutral, obviously, same thing. If we do go ahead and continue to lose this area of support around, I would say around this 98, it is going to be looking quite bearish in my opinion, right? So definitely be on the lookout for that. I'd probably consider opening a short if we see this thing dump and then bounce back up to this area of around $100. This would be a pretty good entry for a short in my opinion, riding the wave all the way down, right? So if you are looking to go ahead and enter a short position or a long position, make sure to go ahead and check out the platforms that I'm partnered with, BingX and MEXC. Both of these platforms are non-KYC platforms. And NordVPN, if you need a VPN for whatever security reason, right, go ahead and check out NordVPN, offering 69% off with 3 months extra. But right now, I'm actually a little bit more neutral into the market. I'm not longing or shorting this market. I have been talking about how bullish I am with this market, but I'm still waiting for a full-on confirmation, in my opinion, to go ahead and decide what I want to go ahead and do, right? So right now, I'm just going to be patiently waiting in the sidelines. I don't know, maybe other tokens are doing pretty good moves, but right now, I'm okay where I'm at, and I'm just going to go ahead and stay in the sidelines and wait until we get that full-on confirmation of what could be potentially happening, right? So we'll see where things go. Now that I'm actually noticing, this kind of looks like a major cup and handle pattern, man. I never realized that. That's on the daily. That's actually pretty good. There's a pretty good cup and handle pattern right here. So like we see Solana break past this. Look, this is what I'm gonna do. If I see Solana break past 110, like 110, and it holds its area support pretty well, I'm gonna go ahead and place some longs right here, because that's gonna go ahead and tell me that this thing's gonna go ahead and freaking moon to 144. So now looking at Solana, it actually doesn't look that bearish as I thought, man. This is the reason why you sometimes have to go ahead and look at the bigger time zones and sometimes zoom out a bit. I mean, even the RSI kind of looks like a cup and handle pattern, and I think, in my opinion, what's going to confirm this is once we have this breakout back to 110, that's going to be a confirmation for me, and seeing this RSI cross, it's going to be super bullish. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, that'd be a nice little trade on Solana. I mean, imagine capturing this nice little trade right here. That's about a 34% pump, right? So not too bad, not too bad. I mean, I do feel like we're gonna have a really nice volatility week ahead of us, so I'm really excited. Pepe 2, let's go ahead and take a Pepe 2. I know, congratulations on everybody on Pepe 2, man. I know that thing has been freaking pumping like crazy, and it actually approached at 100 million plus market cap, right? So congratulations to all of you. Unfortunately, I forgot Pepe 2.0. I'm gonna be honest with you, I forgot that it even existed. And that's actually quite crazy. We did see it go ahead and hit, over 100 million market cap, and now with over a 40% retracement. I don't know what's going on with Pepe 2.0. It's really difficult to go ahead and do some technical analysis when we see the tokens do this kind of movement, but I'm assuming that probably it's around the 618. Yeah, it is. It did retrace back to the 618. which is a pretty good sign. For me personally, you know, a lot of people have asked me, hey John, is this a good time to go ahead and jump into Pepe 2? For me personally, it's just not worth it. I don't know how high it could go. I just don't like jumping into things that are already skyrocketing freaking high, right? I don't like projects like that. For me personally, I think it's a high risk. I would rather risk, I think it's a high risk with a low reward, and I would rather risk a project with a high risk with a high reward, right, in my opinion. The thing is with Pepe 2, the reason why I stopped trading Pepe 2 is because they were only listed on exchanges, man. They were only listed on spot exchanges. They got rid of the futures trading for Pepe 2. The other thing too that kind of bothered me is that what the team did, it just looked really scammy, man. So like, I don't know, the developers seem kind of amateur, considering the fact that they say they worked on multiple projects in the past. And I think what they did, it's they kind of screwed a lot of people, right? So maybe this is what they had in the whole entire time. This whole entire time, they probably had that that goal to go ahead and make it push to those high levels. I don't remember where Pepe 2 hit last time Pepe 2 hit. I think it might have been, I think it might have topped that 80 million market cap, bro. If I'm not mistaken, I think its all-time high for Pepe last time was about 80 million, and it looks like right now it's topping off. So I wonder if you can short with freaking spot. Like, can you short with spot? See, the thing is with Pepe, man, I had such a great time longing this on leverage. And just for spot, I just can't deal with spot, man. I have to get used to doing spot with a lot of these tokens. But congratulations on everybody that went ahead and bought Pepe 2. You know, I completely forgot about it. I was actually quite bearish around this zone over here, and I did talk about some possible reversal, but it's just there's not much to talk about Pepe 2, to be honest. There's just really not much, in my opinion. But we're seeing a lot of these ETH tokens also do the same move, right? A lot of these ETH tokens actually went ahead and took off. Even the smaller projects, like even this one, you know, Marvin's a pretty small project, and we talked about how this did a recent like 6 to 8x from this bottom to this top. So it seems like a lot of these ETH tokens, as ETH continues to pump, a lot of these ETH meme tokens are going to pump. So that's kind of the reason why, you know, I did mention, you know, be exposed to your favorite meme token. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't in Pepe 2 anymore. It kind of disappointed me when they went ahead and did that whole entire new contract change, and it pretty much died off in my eyes when they ended up doing all of that, right? So congratulations on everybody that went ahead and held on to that. Unfortunately, I wasn't part of it, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is, you know. What else can I freaking do? It looks like Catboy is also freaking pumping, and this thing pumped back in December. So the thing is, a lot of these tokens are now pumping, and this thing did a 16x, right? And this is kind of the thing right now. It's like a lot of these tokens just pump out of nowhere, right? You have, and I've seen this time and time and over again now that I realize, I think the best bet is like with these ETH tokens, instead of selling for a loss, or even if they're rug pulls, you're better off just holding on to them. Because I had a project where it was it dumped a lot. I had like a nice little bag too, and it ended up making new all-time highs. And the project was called Gary Token, and I remember buying into this, and literally as soon as I bought, that thing dumped, bro. Like it literally just collapsed. And I literally had, I think it was like $70 worth at the time of the token. And it ended up pumping not that long ago. It was actually right here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Where is this? July 23. No, it's a lie. I don't know why the chart doesn't show it. Yeah, I think it was from this bottom from October to where it's at right now in November. It ended up pumping over. It doesn't tell us, but it did pump quite a bit, right? I don't know why this chart doesn't show it, but what I'm trying to tell you is that what I've noticed is that a lot of these ETH tokens just kind of pump out of nowhere, right? So it could be a lot of many factors, but I think it's most importantly because a lot of these meme tokens on ETH pump due to the fact that they are on ETH. And that's why we see a lot of movement to the upside. It's not the same thing with Solana. With Solana is actually quite different. With Solana is a little different. It's like with Solana tokens, you know, when Sol does good, sometimes it doesn't really do much. But when Solana dumps, the Solana meme tokens do pretty well, right? So it's interesting, to say the least, right? So we're going to go and see where things go moving forward, but I'm definitely excited for what the market's going to bring us. I'm pushing more for a bullish narrative. A lot of people have been telling me that this is a very bearish narrative. I don't see it coming. I mean, personally, I do believe that Bitcoin is going to be entering some bearish territories once we enter this, wherever the top is. You know, whether the top is at $57,000 or if the top is in now, I do believe that we are going to be entering some bearish territories for whatever movement we go towards, right? I'm thinking the movement is going to be more towards the upside. I could be completely wrong. Maybe this is the top for Bitcoin and we might have that altcoin season run up. But if we do see that run up with Bitcoin, just be very careful, right? Don't get too excited with what the market is giving us. But today's just kind of a little quick rundown of what we're talking about and what we're seeing. I did also want to go ahead and read this article right here with Gregory Mannarino. The system is hyperinflating, right? The world economy is not just grinding to a halt. It's essentially dead, with that global debt surging higher at its fastest pace on record. It is a surprise to you that, considering the current global economic freefall we are currently seeing, war develop rapidly. A strange paradox. With that appears as a world hyper saturated with debt, there is simply not enough debt to allow the system to function. Yes, you read that correctly. There is not enough debt. The central bank run debt-based system operates by design in a perpetual deficit, therefore assuring that there will be an uninterrupted increasing demand for more debt. Debt is a single product of a central bank, and the more debt a central bank is called on to issue or is allowed to issue, the stronger they become. Expanding a war is a symptom of system liquidity. No other endeavor on earth generates a greater need for more borrowed dollars / inflating debt than war. Understanding that the central bank controlled debt-based system operates in a continuous state of deficit, therefore creating a perpetual demand for more central bank issued debt. War is expanding. The fact is, right now, today, despite record high global debt, the entire system is on the cusp of locking up due to liquidity crisis, debt crisis. New, more nightmarish situations must continuously be invented to allow more debt to be created. Debt must continually rise just to maintain the current environment. Ever more and increasing debt must be created to the system simply to allow it to function at its current level. It cannot remain static. As central banks continue to create ever increasing amounts of cash, inflation rises. Ponder this: when a central bank creates currency, how does that newly created cash attain its purchasing power? When a central bank creates currency, the newly created bills are not just magically worth something. Every single central bank issued note created in order to attain power must steal a fraction of purchasing power for every other existing bill to gain its own purchasing power. Therefore, the more cash a central bank creates, the more purchasing power of the currency overall is lost. With the debt-based system, inflation is perpetual. Have you ever wondered why, say in case the Federal Reserve, they have a 2% target on inflation? It's because the system must continuously and relentlessly inflate, and that is what is it, ALTCOINs? I don't know what that word is. I've never heard of that word in my life. Heel of any central bank. Yeah, so this is freaking crazy. You want to go ahead and end the central bank. All you need to do is prevent them from issuing a single dollar of more debt of their entire debt-based system collapses. So we talked about how debt's really the only way that's keeping really this economy running, especially in the US. And we talked about how in the US, unfortunately, Bitcoin is like the leading factor, especially now with the NASDAQ pretty much being attached to it with the ETFs. So we've talked about how, you know, until they get to the point where they either inflate so much money into the system where there's a debt bust, where like the bubble just pops, that'd be like the beginning to the end. Or the other way would be, you know, once they stop printing easy money, that's where it really all comes down, crashing down very hard. So they're kind of destined to go ahead and print more easy money, right? And that's kind of the reason why I'm quite bullish with what we're seeing in the markets right now, because the more easy money they pumped into the system, the more the bigger players, the corporations, will have more money to go ahead and reinvest into these assets, right? Thus pushing the stock market and the cryptocurrency market even higher. I mean, if you remember back what happened with the pandemic, pandemic, or should I say the scandemic, what was going on is that you had a lot of free money being issued, right, as stimulus. And what that did is that it artificially inflated and artificially pumped the market, right? It pumped the stock market, it pumped the crypto market, it pumped the retail market, it pumped the car market. And the scandemic was actually one of the freaking best times to be in business, right? Seems like it was like the beginning to the end. Like I once said, it's like, yeah, a lot of things were shut down, but a lot of people had more money to spend. And because more people had more money to spend, everything started to get a lot more expensive, right? We had car sales go up, we had homes go up, we had retail go up. It was probably like the best time in business for many businesses, right? And that's what the power of inflating easy money and printing easy money into the system is, you know. Now the problem comes to when they stop printing money. People are now super hurt because of the fact that inflation has risen due to the fact that they printed a lot of money prior. So with the scandemic, we didn't really feel the effects instantly. We did see them in certain areas, but it took us a while to really start feeling the pain, right? And that's because eventually people were out of money to really go ahead and spend. And that's kind of what we're seeing right now. We're in that crisis right now where we're not seeing a lot of retail spending. We're not seeing a lot of, new homes being purchased back to back like we did back in the scandemic. We don't see a lot of retail shops or stores, breaking new record highs. I remember when I was working in the jewelry industry, we were hitting, new record highs in the business. How's it going, Inspiration? Hope you're having a good one. So, a lot of people actually did really well in the scandemic. And I remember, when I was in sales, it was probably like one of the best years that I've had in sales, the most busiest because there's so much freaking free money. Now, the problem with that, everything got really expensive, right? People didn't really have a problem pay for it because there was so much easy money. Even in corporations, they were actually paying more people more money just to go ahead and get hired, because people didn't want to work because they were giving out stimulus checks, right? So like, why would people want to work when people were making more money staying at home than actually going to work, right? So there was a lot of easy money into the system, which got pumped into the stock market, into the crypto market. So keep that in mind. The more money people spend, the more money these companies make, which pushes the stock prices up, right? So that's what we saw during the scandemic. And we're in a problem with, we're having massive layoffs. Jobs are not easier to get as they were before. We're seeing a lot of company shutdowns. We're seeing a lot of bank runs. And we're no longer seeing a lot of people purchase these cars over sticker price, right? Same thing with homes. Homes are freaking selling for like literally 30 to 40% more than they should. They were supposedly, not supposedly, they were actually being purchased for a lot higher because the supply was low and the demand was high. And that's just simple supply and demand, right? It's simple economics, nothing too crazy to go ahead and think about. See, the thing is, a lot of people don't think about this. So right now we're in an issue where people are like, I think the economy is going to collapse. I don't think so. And this is where, the reason why I'm super bullish, right? Right now, we have one of the biggest events in the U.S. at the moment, the presidential election. Do you really think they're going to go ahead and allow the markets to dump while the year of election is going to be coming in? Like, do you really think they're going to allow whatever person they choose in office right now at the moment, or while they're choosing someone, you really think they're going to allow the market to collapse? No, of course not. So with that being said, we're at a point in the market, a pivotal point in the market where they only have two options, right? Option number one is they don't pump any more money and they let everything collapse, which I really doubt it's going to happen because of the fact that we have this presidential selection going on right now. So I really doubt that's going to happen. It could happen, but I doubt it. This is just my personal opinion, right? That's the only way they could go ahead and fix the problem. They go ahead and allow everything to collapse, meaning they keep interest rates the same. They don't go ahead and print more easy money. We just talked about what all of this brings, more jobs, whatever the case is, all of that. That's scenario number one. Scenario number two is they start to print more easy money into the system. They cut down interest rates. they start cutting down on inflation. More of these corporations get more easy money through funds, whatever the case is. More corporations start to hire more people, and that's the only way we could sustain the market. So we only have two ways to really sustain this market, and I would only really say one, and that is through inflation. That means printing more money is the only way this market will be sustained at the rate of what it's happening right now at the moment, right? Because it's going to look really ugly and bad in the next coming years. And even if they do print easy money, I think it's going to look even worse, to be honest. But they really have no other option but to inflate the market right now, because this thing is literally in the freaking in the edge of collapsing. And if you don't see this, you got to be aware of what the heck's going on, man, because it's really clear what is going on right now in the markets. The markets these are artificial markets. Like, there's no reason why the market should be pumping right now. Let's be honest. Do you really think, we should all be bullish because of the ETF while the economy is collapsing right now? No. Should the stock market be making new record highs literally every freaking day, despite the fact that the market looks freaking terrible? No. So these are huge warning signs giving us and telling us that this market is overinflated, and not just overinflated, but it's literally man-made. Like, this market is not real. Like, if you really think this market's real, like, you must be living in like a fantasy land. But there's no reason why the stock market should be pumping to new all-time record highs, man. We literally made record highs that we did from last year of January 2022, and we just continue to pump, and we're seeing this massive cup and handle pattern, and we're going to continue to take off, right? So a lot of people are calling for crashes, calling for a $10,000 Bitcoin. They're talking for economical collapse, and it's like, dude, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think first what's going to happen is they're going to go ahead and print more easy money because the economy is falling. That's the only option they have. There's no other way to save this economy. They either let it collapse or they go ahead and pump more money. And as I mentioned, in the US, you have the presidential election going on. So I don't think they'll allow that to happen just yet. So I'm thinking they're probably going to go ahead and pump the market to all record highs. We're going to be having a really fun time in the market. Inflation's going to get through the roof. Everything's going to get super expensive, but there's going to be more companies coming out, all of this, whatever the case is. And then eventually, after that's over, then that's where the real collapse happens, in my opinion. Unless they just keep on rinsing and repeating. But I think at that point, everything's going to be so damn expensive, because everything's already expensive now. Just imagine what's going to happen when they start pumping the market even more with easy money. It's going to get even literally 2 times more expensive than what everything is now, right? So at that point, I don't think it's going to be sustainable. And that's where the economical collapse happens. So I don't think it's going to happen now. People are saying it's going to happen this year. I don't think so. I think it's going to happen after this bull run is where it really happens. And yeah, so we'll see where things go moving forward. Hey Ryan, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a good one. Good morning, John. Let's go. How's MMG looking? Big day today. Better release. Huge coming weeks for MMG. Nice. Let's go and check out MMG. So I hope all of you understand what I'm trying to say. It's just something you have to go ahead and keep in mind, right? We're going to have two sides of the market. We're going to have the people that are super extremely bullish, and then the people that are extremely bearish, right? And our goal right here is to stay neutral, because both things in the market are going to happen. It's just a matter of when and how it happens, right? And when all of that really happens, you want to go ahead and stay neutral in the game, because if you get too overly excited, you're going to go ahead and make some dumb mistakes. If you get extremely bearish, you're going to go ahead and also make some dumb mistakes by not buying the dips, right? And I'm seeing a lot of people are bearish at the market, where in my opinion, you should be bullish. There's really no reason to be bearish, in my opinion. But people are saying otherwise. People are calling for this economical collapse happening like now. And I find it kind of funny, because I don't think that's where we're at. I think we're in a bull run, and I think we're going to see some really nice pumps this coming up year and the year after. But we have to be careful, right? Because we will have temporary crashes along the way. So pretty cool with what we have with Meta minigames. Go ahead and see recent updates on Meta minigames. V1 beta launches, initial AVAX testing. onboard another UX developer, onboard another backend developer. So that's pretty cool, man. I remember when they were out, project looked like a freaking like a freaking meme, man. Project looked like a meme, so it's pretty good to go ahead and see them at 1 million. Their supply is at about 100 million supply. So these tokens are going to go up in value quite quickly, and we've actually been seeing a nice little pump. I mean, Ryan has been talking about them since over here back in August. So I mean, look at what they have done since over here. If you would have bought in when Ryan called it, that did a 20x already. So congratulations on that, bro. Welcome to Meta Mini Games, bespoke gaming experience harnessed through blockchain. What kind of games do they have? They have Clumsy Pepe. We have Pep. Man, that's freaking hilarious, man. Let's go ahead and see. Can we play this? It says error. Interesting. Wish we would have been able to play that. What about Pep Man? Same thing, error. Maybe it's being worked on. But anyways, with what I'm saying is just be careful. You know, we just have to be aware of what's going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. Is it signaling an altcoin season? Yeah, probably not. Probably not, honestly. Let's go ahead and see this chart. We see we're actually at a 65, so we're not too far. So we're gonna go and see if we could break past this 71. But if we are, I have been mentioning and telling a lot of you, I mean, this is the time to go ahead and start loading up on meme tokens and altcoins, because we are seeing a run up. I mean, you're seeing it on MMG, you're seeing a little lower cap tokens, you're seeing it on some of the bigger tokens, and a lot of people are saying that, you know, this is the top. I don't think so. I think this there's still a little bit more room to be left before we have a correction, but I could be wrong. We're going to go have to see where things go moving forward. But with that being said, I hope all of you are having a great day. So let's go ahead and do a quick little update on what is it, PAL token. We did actually see some nice new record highs. I think it was on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, or Thursday, Thursday into Friday. Well, we saw PAL make freaking new all-time highs, and we're gonna go ahead and take a look at what's going on right now with PAL. They did actually just made their first Medium article, which is quite of a bullish sign in my opinion. And right now the chart looks like it's getting ready for a breakout. So we'll go ahead and see. As I mentioned on the daily, we did actually break out to the upside when we were struggling right here. We had a major pump, taking us all the way as high as 600,000 plus market cap. As we see right here, we ended up hitting 644. That was back on the 23rd, and it looks like the 25th, which was actually today, we saw it go as high as 702,000 market cap. So it looks like this is a strong area of support for PAL. I do expect some sort of reversal moving forward, and we could be seeing a major breakout to the upside, maybe potentially a 2 to 3x, right, coming forward. So definitely be on the lookout for that. As I mentioned, really base active team, and it looks like a lot of Solana meme tokens have been pumping. I mean, look at this one right here, MetaAsh at over 15,000%. And it looks like Pepe with a hat. I can't believe no one ever thought about this idea. So we are seeing a lot of these tokens, you know, now pumping. And this is typically the kind of behavior we see when we see risk on behavior in the market. We start to see a lot of these Solana meme tokens take off, right? So it is something definitely to go ahead and be aware of and be open to what we're seeing in the market. But I believe this market is going to be a very bullish market in a week ahead of us. Looks like the market's going to continue to go up, and I don't feel bearish, to be honest. Like, you know, most people feel bearish right now. They're panicking, they're scared, and I actually feel quite the opposite. I'm very bullish in the market, you know. So right now, just be aware of the opportunities that are going to be presented to ourselves. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMC and GameStop, because I know a lot of you have been asking me, like, what the heck is going on. I think these, at least for now, the tokens are freaking dead, bro. Like AMC's dead, man. Like, I'm sorry to tell you. Unfortunately, I had to get out like right here. I think I got out of freaking AMC at these high levels, bro. I was like at this point, I was like breaking even right here at the 2 million market cap. At the 2 to 3 million market cap, I ended up selling, man. I'm like, you know what? I'll go ahead and re-enter at a lower price because I know it's going to dump. And right now AMC is at very low prices, so I might even consider throwing in like $100. Let's see, spot 13 sold 170. I might even consider throwing like $100 in this, man, or like $300. The thing is with AMC, I do think is going to come back, but I don't know. Right now, it's not looking too good, to be honest. It's not looking too good, in my opinion. There's just more bearishness than positiveness, I guess, in this project. The team that was pushing AMC is no longer there. They're pushing now PAL token, so that's kind of the reason why I'm bullish on PAL, because I was part of the AMC movement. Like, I helped push the project from 100,000 market cap all the way up to 12 million market cap. And right now with AMC, it's just like the only thing that will really push AMC is if GME pumps back up, man. That's really the only thing. And that's kind of the reason why a lot of the group members from AMC just kind of moved on and are now into PAL, because it's kind of out of your control, man. Like, we never had any team tokens with AMC, so it was very difficult to go ahead and push that project. There was no marketing money, there was no marketing wallet, so we were really, you know, destined to fail pretty much. But yeah, we still were able to push it all the way to 12 million. So until we start seeing a little bit more volatility and movement in AMC and GME, which looks like it is slightly coming, right? Typically when GME finds a bottom, we do find a major reversal. And until we see that kind of reversal on GME and AMC, I will consider a position in entering these two projects again, right? GME from this bottom of 8 million market cap, we could be expecting over a 10x, and with AMC, I think it's going to be about almost the same almost the same, if not a little bit more. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMC. AMC is going to be back at around, if we find this bottom, over a 30x. So honestly, you're better off investing into AMC, in my opinion. But we kind of are in this zone. We have to wait for GME to do its thing. I think the new website is launching today. Awesome, Ryan. So it looks like MMG is launching a new website. So we're going to go and see where this narrative goes. As I mentioned, very, very bullish. Not much to go ahead and talk about. I don't have any more updates. I just want to go ahead and talk about what my opinion is in the markets and what we could be expecting. I'm expecting a bullish market. A lot of people are being negative and bearish. I'm being the opposite. So we're going to go ahead and see where things go moving forward. So I'll go ahead and catch all of you in the next coming hours. Let's go ahead and see how the stock market opens up today. So appreciate all of you being here. Thank you, Ryan Syntax.